the Student Activities Office in the CCB building, they have an exhibit of all the old Nassau Community College yearbooks. Let's take a look at all the sports teams they had in 1965. For the men, they had basketball, cross country, bowling, soccer, wrestling, baseball, track, and tennis. And for the women, they had a volleyball club, a badminton club, and a bowling club. They had 8 men's sports teams and 3 women's sports clubs. Today, we have 7 women's sports teams on the Nassau campus. Seeing women involved in sports in school and being active in professions such as law and medicine is an everyday occurrence. But in 1965, they didn't even have that option. So what changed? Before 1972, there were quotas on how many women could get into law and medical schools, and also limited opportunity for women in sports. On June 23, 1972, a federal law was enacted called Title IX, which opened a whole new world for women in academics and athletics.
Title IX says, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in or denied benefits of or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance."
Well, Title IX really made possible for many more young women to go to college and to get into programs that they otherwise would have been denied access to. Whereas prior to Title IX, you couldn't become a medical doctor if you were a woman. It would be very rare, or a lawyer, or a PhD scientist, or a championship athlete. Once Title IX was passed and schools were required to give more opportunities to young women, then the doors opened wide and women joined in. Prior to Title IX, the numbers of women attending college were much lower than the numbers of men. And now we do have the reverse situation where women do make up 57% of the student bodies.
The number of women participating in sports has accelerated ever since the passage of Title IX.
What Title IX was really doing was saying that you can't ever discriminate in your educational programs on the basis of sex. And what most people didn't realize, and certainly Richard Nixon never realized it when he signed it into law, was that it would have its greatest impact on sports participation for girls and women.
Soccer has definitely grown tremendously since Title IX, and that just is evident by the start of the women's national team and all the different age groups with the Olympic developmental program, things like that on Long Island and throughout the country.
You know, one of the interesting things about Title IX and girls' and boys' sports participation over the course of the last 35 years since it was passed is that just women's participation has exploded. High school level from 300,000 to 3 million now. College from just a handful to almost 150,000 now.
A continuing problem in women's sports has been the lack of hiring of women coaches.
Currently today, women hold less than half of all of the coaching positions in women's sports. And they hold about 2% of all of the coaching positions in men's sports. So men currently hold, if you think that they're all equal, they currently hold almost 75% of all of the coaching positions. The male athletic directors know the other male athletic directors. They all know all the male coaches, and they have a tendency to hire the people that they know.
The importance of a coach goes beyond the X's and O's of the game strategy.
I was actually inspired from my coach when I played here at Nassau. She really kind of showed me the best part of a coach, and she taught us life lessons instead of just teaching us soccer and skills, and that was something that really motivated me to become a better person and to focus on my grades and think about my future and the different decisions that I make and how they impact my future and, you know, the people around me and my teammates. So she really kind of opened my eyes to becoming a better human being and a better citizen as opposed to becoming a better athlete.
Coach Christina Cambria tries to instill in her players life lessons and character building.
I pretty much tell them flat out that they're going to learn a lot more than soccer when they come and they play for the team. And if they buy into our system, that I truly believe and my coaching staff truly believes that they're going to benefit more than they'll ever know. And one of our things that we talk about in the beginning of the season is what we call the PACT, P-A-C-T. and it's practice, attitude, commitment, and teamwork. And it's all of that stuff on the field, and then it's all of that stuff off the field, in the classroom, when they are socializing on the weekends and at night and on away trips, that they really need to keep the pact in mind and be committed to each other and work together as one team.
The benefits of playing sports go way beyond playing fields and scoreboards.
Well, women who have played sports as young girls, we actually did a piece of research where we showed that women who played sports as young girls and went on to do well in business, many of them had been the captains of their teams. So they were learning leadership skills, learning how to work on a team, which is a huge skill that's needed in business, how to take risks. When you are playing a sport and there's 5 seconds left in the game and you have the ball and you've got to try something. And so you got to stick your neck out and go out there and try it. And that's the same kind of sort of competitive environment that is in the business world.
The Hall of Fame tennis player Billie Jean King started the Women's Sports Foundation in an effort to protect the rights established by Title IX. Even though players today probably don't know about Title IX, the Women's Sports Foundation is there as an advocate for all women athletes.
Yeah, athletes don't know about Title IX. Probably the ones who don't know about it have lots of opportunity. And we generally find that when people call the Women's Sports Foundation, it's because they have a problem. They're being discriminated against, and they know that perhaps that's not the right thing, and then they learn about Title IX. So that's how that happens. And actually, I don't think it's important, particularly that they know about Title IX and what the law is exactly. It's more important that they understand that they have the right to participate in sports and physical activity, and that if they don't think they're getting that right, they should call the Women's Sports Foundation and we'll help them.
For all of us who enjoy playing sports in school and are looking forward to careers in law, engineering, and medicine, we can thank Title IX and Billie Jean King for opening up these opportunities. For NCC News, I'm Natalie Parsons. Yeah!